If you really think that after having AI, you do not need to learn data structures at all, well, you might be very mistaken. And you might encounter a lot of problems in your programming journey and in your career. Because even if AI gives you a solution, you need to have all of the core knowledge so that you can determine if the solution given to you by the AI agent is even efficient or not. This particular LeetCode problem explores such a concept because by using the heap data structure, we can find an efficient solution. But to know that heap is the most optimal solution, you must have all of that knowledge. So let us see what we can do about this problem and how do you build up step by step so you can actually apply that heap data structure. Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. Let us first try to look at the problem and understand some of it. Now, there is a whole lot of text given in this problem. Basically, the idea is you are given different buildings and you have to trace the skyline. But before you look at any problem, there are certain things that you must always understand. Okay, this is a hard problem and it has been liked by more than 6,000 people. So definitely this is one of the good problems to solve. And this is where my LeetCode navigator can also come in very handy. You can just filter on all of the hard problems. And now if you would try to sort it by the likes on each of the problem, you would see that this problem appears in the top 20 problems. And if you look at it, it has been asked by 14 different companies. At this point, you can be sure that you are not wasting your time on a problem that is not relevant. So let us try to dig into the problem now. You are given certain buildings and look at this input dataset. Now, this input dataset is actually describing all of these buildings and you have to tell me the skyline. There are a lot of words, so I created some diagrams which can actually simplify the problem very much for you. What you can assume is you have this number line available and all of these buildings are given by set of 3 integers. So for example, you are given 1, 5 and 11. 1 means the starting point, 5 means the ending point and 11 is the height. And that is how the entire city is defined. You placed one building. For the second input, you have 2, 7 and 6. In the same number line, you will have 2 over here, 7 over here and 6 is the height of the building. Similarly, if you keep on placing all of these buildings, this is the entire city and this is the skyline that you have to calculate. Now that you have the entire city defined, the next task is that you have to trace the skyline. And what is the skyline? A skyline is nothing but the outline of the tallest building at each of the point. So when you look at all of these buildings, this is the entire skyline. And this is what we are interested in. That is how you should look at your output and where do you want to go. At this point in the problem, you can now try to think about some of the brute force ways in which you can approach it. Basically, what you can do, you have your building layout available. So what is the skyline? Basically, if you look at any particular point, let us say x equals to 4, the skyline is nothing but the highest available building at that particular point. Similarly, if you move ahead and there is no building at all, the skyline height will be 0. Similarly, if you go ahead, again you see 2 buildings, then the skyline will have the maximum height. So one solution comes straight to your mind that, okay, I can start to traverse from x from 0 all the way up to the very end, look at all of the buildings available over there and then try to find out the maximum height. Yes, this approach will give you the correct answer. But the problem is the input set is not defined to you in such a way. You are only given some buildings and then you will have to compute all of the extra information. For example, if you land somewhere over here, then you need to know what is the height of each building at x equals to 4. Sure, you can calculate it, but it is gonna take a lot of time. So this solution, while gives you the correct answer, it is not feasible. We need to think about something else. You need to start optimizing. Try to think about the blocker that you have right now. For every x, you need to find out what is the height. But do you really need to find out the height at every x? Think about it. If you have a very wide building and that is tall, that will be your answer. It means you do not need to check the height of every building at every instance. The skyline only changes whenever there is a new building added or removed. So try to think like this. Where does the skyline actually change? You try to start your sweep. As soon as you start, what is your first point of interest? That is when any building starts. Now, as long as this building is continuing, then you do not need to change anything. Only at the point where a new building starts, you need to think that should I increase my skyline or should I decrease my skyline? Over here, the new building is lower, so you don't have to decrease your skyline. Go to the next edge. Now you need to increase your skyline. Again, try to understand what I'm getting at. When you move to the next edge, that is when you need to take some action. What I'm trying to say is you do not have to compute every value of x. You only need to look at the events or the value of x where something changes. At x equals to 5, this building ends. But do you need to update the skyline? No. So what are you going to do? You are now going to look at the next edge available. The next edge is 7. Notice that we did not look what happened at 4. We did not look what happened at 6. Because there are no events for it. At edge 7, one more building ends, but our skyline or the highest building is still active, so we don't do anything about it. Look at the next event. It happens at x equals to 9. And now what do you see? There is no building available, so our skyline drops. What do you do now? To keep on going, you just follow the same approach. You are not worried about what happens at 10, 11, and so on. You are only looking at whenever my next edge comes. My next edge now comes at 12, so I increase my skyline. At 14, I don't have to decrease my skyline. At 16, I will need to decrease my skyline because one of the buildings ended, so that is again an event. And then I go all the way up to the very end until 19. And that is how my skyline is forming. I am only interested in an event where a building actually starts or a building actually ends. I am trying to get rid of the bottleneck that I was having with the brute force approach. And that should get you thinking, how can you approach this problem in the most efficient manner? If you just paid attention to what I said, you are only interested in the events where a building actually starts or where a building actually ends. Now look at our input. Our input is given in a form of an array, and every element is actually a triplet that is representing the building. So 1, 5, 11 means my building starts at 1 and it ends at 5. So this will give me two events. The first event happens at x equals to 1 and the second event happens at x equals to 5. And for every event, I am going to capture what is the height of the building. So using this input set, what I'm going to do is I am going to create all of these start and end events. If you notice, I have all of these start events with x equals to 1, 2, 3, 12 and 14. These are all of my start events and all of these end events at 5, 7, 9, 16 and 19. I have written down all of my events. This is the first iteration that I want to go through, and these are the events that I created. Now think about it. You have to form your skyline and it starts from x equals to 0 and you have to go all the way up to the very end. So what do you have? You have all of these values of x. Naturally, the thought comes to your mind is, okay, what if I sort all of these events? As soon as you sort it, you now get your skyline, but it is in the form of events. It is telling me that at x equals to 1, event came where the height of the building is 11. At x equals to 2, a new event came, but the height is 6. At x equals to 3, a new event came and the height is equal to 13. Notice, at x equals to 5, there is a black event. Black simply means the building ended. And which building ended? The building with the height 11. So what we're going to do is we are going to parse all of these events one by one and then try to form our skyline. So up till now, what did we do? We made one iteration to create all of these events that happens in order of n time, and then we sorted all of it with x. So now we have taken up a total time of order of n log n. Let us now try to sweep all of these events one by one and see how we can create the skyline. So for starting, x equals to 1 and height equals to 11. So what I'm gonna do, I start my pointer over here. I got the first event, correct? And notice this visual diagram also. It will help you to understand how in just a single scan, we will be able to complete our skyline. At x equals to 1, the height is 11. So what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna keep the height of 11 in a max heap, because this heap can immediately give me that, okay, what is the maximum height at this particular point? That is what we were doing in the brute force approach, correct? So I have added this element 11 in my heap. Now you need to check, okay, what is the maximum skyline up till now? You compared it with 0, you see that, okay, in my heap, I have the maximum height available as 11. Okay, so let me keep it. And then you are gonna keep a track of this complete skyline. If you remember, when did the skyline change? Whenever something changed, only then you were recording all of these points, correct? If you notice, even in the problem, whenever this value changes, that is the point you want to record. So over here, if this max changes, then you need to make sure that did your max change? Yes, so you want to record it. And where do you want to record? You want to record it in some sort of a list that you will eventually return. So look at this skyline parameter and you recorded that, okay, at 1,11, my skyline has now started. Up till now, what did we do? We parsed a single event and this is the current state. Let us keep on going ahead now. What happens at x equals to 2? A new building comes in and the height of this building is 6. Notice that I kept 6 in my heap because I may need it in the future. The building 11 could collapse and then 6 would be my highest building. So I have both of these elements in my heap, but I want my maximum height. So I will try to look in my heap. Max heap immediately gives me 11. So max is still 11. This time you do not change the max variable, so you don't have to record anything. The skyline does not change, and then you can just proceed whatever you got. Now look at the next event. X equals to 3. At 3, the height changes to 13. So the first step is you add this height to your heap. Now you want to look, okay, what is my maximum height now? The maximum height is now 13. This is why max heap comes in very, very handy. A max heap gives you the maximum value in order of 1 time. And when you add or remove an element, you need to perform the heapify operation, which will run in just log n time. So over here, the max changed. Since max changed, you need to record this point now, and you're gonna update your skyline. So you see in your skyline, now you have 1,11 and 3,13. So far, so good. Every event that we got is just of adding a new building. Now comes the interesting part. I have a black event. This black event means my building just died. Like my building is ending over here. So what do I get? At x equals to 5, the building with height 11 has been removed. So in my heap, I will remove the element 11. And now again, I will try to get the maximum element. The maximum element is still 13. The max has not changed. So you don't need to update your skyline. This event is now over. The next event I get is x equals to 7. Again, since this is a black event, it means that the building with the height 6 is no more. So you remove this element 6 from your heap. You are gonna call, okay, give me the maximum element from the heap. It is still 13. The max does not change. So you will not update your skyline and your state is good. Go to the next event now. X equals to 9. It is telling me that height of 13. This building is now no more. So you remove something from your heap. Your heap is now empty. Try to get the max element. It becomes 0. Did your max change? Yes. That means you will now want to record this point. And you add this point to your skyline. And that is how you move ahead. You're now done with this particular event and you can move on to the next event. So now I think you're going to get the complete idea. Again, at x equals to 12, you get a new event. You add this height to your heap. You're going to check what is the max. And then you are going to keep on proceeding the same way ahead until and unless you get the complete skyline. At this final state, you get x equals to 19. This building is also removed. Max changes. So you're going to record it. And this is the complete skyline. So what were we doing? We took the advantage of a max heap. At every instance, I can just call, okay, give me the maximum element, and it returns me in the order of 1 time. Just adding and removing elements is gonna take you log n amount of time. So overall, to sort everything, we took order of n log n time, and to perform the heapify operations, in the worst case for all n entries, you are again gonna take a time of order of n log n. That gives you a total time complexity of order of n log n, and the total space complexity of this particular solution will be order of n, because you need that extra space to store all of those events and to create that max heap. Now, if you feel that you have understood the solution completely, I would highly recommend you to try to code this entire solution on your own. Or if you're using an AI agent, try to explain your methodology and then try to generate a code with it. Because only then you will feel confident that, okay, the solution that AI has generated for me is the correct solution and it is the most efficient one. However, if you still want to look at how the code is going to look like, let us quickly do a dry run of it. Over here, I have the complete method get skyline, and this is how I am taking in all of the input buildings. So the first thing that we do is we iterate over each of the building, and then I am going to create all of these events. Notice that for each of the event, I take up the building. I notice the value of x for left, the value of x for right. I take the height and then add a 1. A 1 means a building has started and 0 means a building has ended. So this is the first iteration where I pick up each of the building and convert it into events. For the next part, I'm going to sort it, and this is going to take order of n log n time. Moving ahead, I now need to maintain a max heap. And this is where this priority queue comes in very, very handy. Notice that I also initialize my skyline that will be eventually returned as the answer, and a previous max that is going to keep a track of how the skyline is going. In the next part, you are going to run a for loop for all of these events. And for every event, you basically check if this event is a starting event or it is an ending event. Based upon that, you are going to add this height to your priority queue, or you are going to remove it from your priority queue. This priority queue is actually your max heap. And this current max is just fetching what is the maximum value from my heap. You just keep a track of everything and you keep on updating your skyline. At the very end, once you have iterated through all of the events, you simply return the skyline, and that is your final answer. I hope all of these diagrams and animations really helped you to understand the problem statement correctly, because it is very essential that how you are approaching a problem. Just telling your AI agent to solve a particular problem won't land you anywhere. That is what I want you to focus upon. So if you feel that any of this was helpful, please do consider subscribing to my channel and share this video with your friends. This really keeps me motivated and I can make more such videos. Also, let me know in the comment section, how did you approach the problem? And if you ask your AI agent to solve this problem, what kind of a solution does it come up with? It is going to be a real good discussion, and I would love to see all of those approaches. In the end, I would also like to give a huge shout out to all of the members who support my channel. You guys really keep me going. As a member, you do get priority reply to your comments and early access to new video as well. Stay tuned for my upcoming video. Until then, see ya.